Welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 50 of the Next Generation of Superstars podcast. We have Grant Jackson here, who plays defensive tackle at Roosevelt University, and he is from Calumet City in Illinois. Welcome to the show.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So tell us a little bit about how you found your passion and really love for the game of football growing up.
Yeah, for sure. When I was younger, I was in sixth grade. My dad started me off. He started me with the Calumet City Chargers, and at first I didn't like it, but over time I started to grow my true love for it. You know, obviously I started to get better at it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And more about just the support you've had from coaches, teammates, family, even your teammates as you've gone through, both the high school and now college level. What does that support look like for you?
It's awesome. They are my number one supporter right now. They no matter what, they are my number one, and I love them and I appreciate them. And big shouts out to them. So they appreciate them for everything they do. Sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, and kind of more about tell us more about just the fans that you've been engaging with. Obviously it's huge to be able to engage with fans now over social media and as well as just on and off the field. What does that engagement look like for you as a student athlete?
As a student athlete, I mean, as I engage with friends, they come to me about advice. Sometimes it's either about college or maybe stuff outside of college, or maybe it's got to be stuff about football. I give it to them, and I feel like that's a good way to engage with other fans and such.
For
So I feel
sure.
like
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what about just even your community back home? In Calumet City here, and have you been able to do anything to give back to the community back home, or maybe any plans in the future, even after football? Has there been anything that you've thought about that would be good for you as in terms of wanting to give back?
sure, man, that's all I've thought about. When I make it big, it's back to the community. Especially giving back to my mom. Her first, she comes first before anything, and then after that, spread love to my community, of course. So that's the plan.
I love it. It's always nice to be able to give back and inspire the youth and other people around you, especially family, like you were saying with your mother. And, talking more into just the routine as well as your mental and physical health. How do you balance all that out? It's definitely a rigorous routine in general as being a student athlete. But can you tell us more about what that routine looks like, as well as how you really balance out both your physical and mental health as an athlete at Roosevelt?
Uh, to me, I feel like mental health comes first before anything, because you you got other people going through stuff, and you might be going through stuff yourself, and that can affect your performance on the football field, and you got to make sure you're right for anything. So I feel like if you're mentally messed up, then you're physically not prepared to play. So I feel like it's hand in hand physically and mentally ready to go out there and play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And has there been any memorable moments that you've had so far in your career? As in playing the sport that you love, the football.
Sure. Last year around I think August or September, we had a family day, and my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my brother, they all came out and they seen me play my first college scrimmage, and it was cool to see that. And, I was happy in that moment. I didn't want that moment to leave. So for sure, that's an unforgettable moment.
Incredible. It's so nice, like you've talked about earlier, just the great support system you have with your family and friends and everybody else. But to be able to have that first college game, your whole family coming out, watching you and supporting you, and be able to cherish that moment, soak it all in. It's inspirational, right? To be able, it's something special that you'll always cherish for a long, long time. What really motivates you, Grant, every single day to just be at your best that you can possibly be in football?
Good question. So, I lost my big brother and I lost my dad, back to back years. And I use them as motivation every single day to keep pushing. I know they're looking down on me like, I got this, and I believe in myself. So I got the talent to do it, and I got the talent to change everything. So I feel like that's my biggest motivation, no matter what.
Yeah. sending my love, to you and your family. And very sorry, to hear about that, but to be able to use that as fuel and motivation to carry on your legacy of your family, and to be able to do that in the sport of football, on and off the field, right? And to be able to use that, as I said, as motivation, is really, inspirational, especially for the youth that looks up to you, right? I'm sure that there's been a lot of youth around you that's looked up to you as a role model, especially in your community or even at school, and to see, your drive and your heart, and the love that you have for the game and everyone else around you, is really remarkable. So, kind of going more into the NIL era has been very exciting these past couple of years. What do you, Grant, love the most about NIL and allowing you to finally take ownership and being in charge of your entire brand?
The most I love about is how we get to engage with other athletes around the world. Like that's like so like I feel like we did that to to engage with other athletes to get people into the sports world and NIL, and I feel like it's a good way to to progress your own brand and get your brand out there, get your name out there, and know see what the world with who your name is. So I feel like that's cool. It's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, and to be able to, like you said, connect with so many other athletes, and think about, like, there's thousands and thousands of other athletes that you may have never met or known before this whole NIL era came into, fruition, right? And being able to allow you to actually not only connect with brands and executives and other people, but now you can actually go out and talk to other athletes and say, hey, is there any deals you're doing that maybe I'm interested in, or here's some deals that I thought you as my teammate might be interested in as well. So it's just really building, more of a strong bond and camaraderie, amongst all athletes, and to be able to do that at this type of level is incredible. So what's how has it helped you so far? I know you said you've been able to talk to a lot of other athletes and connect with new brands. What else has it been able to help you so far in these past couple of years?
So it's been helping me with it's getting my name out there more. I love how it get my in the athletes world. That's all I ever wanted for my name to be in the athlete category and Brent Jackson. So I feel like that's an awesome way to get your name out there.
100%. And that really is going to help build that strong foundation and structure for even when you're after your playing days and when you're done playing football, because everyone at a certain point has to have their last their practice and game, and really, that last hurrah, right, of the sport. So to be able to start now and be able to build a strong foundation that can carry on after your playing days, it really can help set every athlete up for so much success after, and to be able to build those relationships at such an early age. And kind of going more into a fun topic, but what has been, if there has been any so far, any dream brand NIL deals that you've thought about that you would love to partner with a specific brand that you've been passionate about?
Oh man, all my life, no matter how long I football, I've been Nike. So if I had to pick a brand, it would be Nike. So for sure, Nike.
All right, so if we got Nike listening in the audience, we know that Nike and Grant Jackson collab is coming soon, hopefully before the end of the year. That'd be awesome. And going more into just outside of football and academics and everything else, Grant, do you have any hobbies or side hustles or passions that you like to do when you do have some free time on your hands?
Um, during the I try, I give myself a job, but most of the time I be at home for my mother, try and help her and around the house, being there for my brothers, being there for my nephews and nieces, being there for my family, like the biggest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always nice to be able to be around family, and to really be there for every single family member, to be able to help them with things that they need help with, and to really just be able to have that strong bond within your family. And I think that's really special. We'll kind of wrap up here in a couple questions, but what is your main vision, with your career now that you're playing, at Roosevelt University?
Um, at Roosevelt, I just want people to know who I am. Just know who Grant Jackson is. Like I said, just get my name out there. So, I've been doubted, because of my height and such, and I've been proving people wrong. I've been, getting the doubters out. I feel like I'm proud of myself, and I feel like I can keep going with this and make it bigger than what it is, you know. So I feel like the sky's the limit for me. So, sure.
You have the full support of Burst and our team, right behind your back, helping you out. So that's incredible to be able to keep going against all odds, right? Whether people doubt you or they don't, it's like to be able to persevere and to really stay focused in your own lane and to keep pushing forward and really, like you said, make a huge name for yourself. And that's all about that consistency and discipline and persistence that you've been able to show, and that all pays off. And then kind of wrapping up here, as we talked a lot about inspiring the youth and the community. And we always do this with every podcast episode. What would three pieces of advice be that you would give to the next generation of athletes?
Number one is to work hard. Working hard will get you a long way no matter what. And always work hard. You know, no matter what it is, mentally, physically, always work hard. Two, be consistent. Be consistent in your fundamentals no matter what. Always strive to get better. Always strive to get better. You know. And then three, never give up. I I don't give up. I've been doubted a lot because of my size. I'm the tallest, and I've proved so many people wrong. So those are my three biggest things.
And Grant, just to recap everything you said number one, to work hard. You said number two, to be consistent. And you said number three, to never give up and to really just keep going and keep pushing through. And all three of those, to recap, have all just been great pieces of advice. We appreciate you, Grant Jackson, for being on our episode today. Everyone in the audience, please make sure you follow him all over social media. Stay tuned to the rest of his season at Roosevelt, and be sure to just keep a pulse on everything that Grant's got going on, especially as he continues to take on this world of NIL and really make a name for himself. So appreciate you once again being on the show, and we'll have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
I see it.